The Intersection of Fine Arts, Disability, and Learning by Oklahoma State Department of Education, Special Education Services. The unique and inspirational art throughout this presentation has been created by talented artists in very special art studios throughout the United States, supporting youth and adults with special needs. To begin our presentation, we feature Art Enables Studio and its vocational program, a very important component to adult employment and independence. Art Enables, located in Washington, D.C., commits its time and resources to serving students with disabilities. Art Enables just announced that the Library of Congress has acquired 6 works of art by resident artists. Art Enables Studio provides artists like Jamila professional space and resources. The resident artist receives 70% of the price of each piece sold, and the remaining percentage goes towards studio supplies, framing costs, and other needed art materials. Since their founding, Art Enables artists have sold more than $1 million in artwork and have exhibited in hundreds of exhibitions locally, nationally, and internationally, and have made meaningful contributions to the visual arts community. And I am Jill Hilst, the Professional Development Specialist for Special Education Services at the State Department of Education. I am presenting the first of a 2-part series on the intersection of fine arts, disability, and learning. Part 1. Need to Know Basis includes information that addresses special education language, includes guiding principles of art education for students with disabilities, and identifies and promotes the valuable effects of art education. We recognize your contribution to positive student outcomes and spend time identifying the obvious and sometimes not so obvious benefits of the fine arts for students with disabilities and very targeted goals. Need to Know Basis: what every art educator needs to know about special education. VSA, Very Special Arts, the International Organization on Arts and Disability, was founded in 1974 by Ambassador Jean Kennedy Smith to provide arts and educational opportunities for people with disabilities. Each year, approximately 7 million people of all ages and abilities participate in VSA programs and every aspect of the arts. Their 4 guiding principles to art education include: every student with a disability deserves access to high-quality arts learning experiences. All artists in schools and art educators should be prepared to include students with disabilities in their instruction. All children and adults with disabilities should have complete access to cultural facilities and activities. And all individuals with disabilities who aspire to careers in the arts should have the opportunity to develop appropriate skills. Special education has a language all its own, filled with abbreviations and acronyms. From IEPs to LREs, it can be difficult to have the confidence of knowing how to fully serve students with very individualized needs. There are 13 qualifying disability categories, with the majority of students qualifying under speech-language impairment and specific learning disabilities. Autism and other health impairments that include attention deficit and hyperactivity disorders are growing disability areas. Specially designed instruction and related services encompass a vast array of areas of expertise. Within the resource section of this presentation, this document helps you navigate the language of special education. Special education encompasses alternative instruction, supports, and services provided for students who have academic, behavioral, health, physical, or other unique needs beyond those met by traditional educational techniques. Fine arts can open the world of learning to students who have trouble with these traditional teaching methods. The arts are intellectual disciplines requiring complex thinking and problem solving, offering students with disabilities the opportunity to construct their own understanding of the world. Drawing and painting reinforces fine motor skills and the learning of shapes, contrast, boundaries, and spatial relationships. Size and other math concepts help with spatial processing, often associated with specific learning disabilities. Fine arts through music helps with functional goals. Students with special needs use music to address these functional goals. Speech and communication, singing songs to isolate speech sounds with repetition. Fine and gross motor skills, using traditional and adaptive percussion instruments like the tambourine to address specific fine and gross motor skills. And social development. Music class incorporates greetings, turn taking, eye contact, requesting, and self expression, and collaboration. Fine arts with dance, finding the joy. Students with disabilities, when involved in positive dance opportunities, make more eye contact, move in partnership with others, respect and understand personal space, learn self expression and physical self confidence, take direction, and play and laugh, smile, hum, spin, dream, and find joy in the movement. Dance is an effective way to reach students with special needs because it is an opportunity for nonverbal expression. Through simple patterns, sequencing, and repetition, students will learn the basics of movement and rhythm. As expression, visual arts offer students with behavioral challenges the opportunity to express themselves in 2 and 3 dimensional ways. The development of problem solving skills is possible without having to rely on areas of expression that may be more complex and difficult to navigate. Executive functioning skills can be conceptualized as behavioral self regulation. Teacher interviews reveal positive effects of art education for the children when it comes to several aspects: collaboration, conflict management, inclusion, vocabulary, and confidence. These factors are regarded as important for executive functioning development and academic outcomes. Students with attention deficit disorders are more successful when they have their own materials and spaces to work and permitted to make multiple products. Art experiences are effective ways to hold attention and provide children with acceptable, enjoyable ways to express their feelings. This artwork was created by an artist who struggles with ADHD and wanted to bring awareness to it. Once a year, a celebration of the human spirit unfolds in numerous theaters across the country. A group of children in a program called the Penguin Project take to the stage to perform a modified version of a well known Broadway musical. These productions are unique because all the roles are filled by young artists with disabilities. They are joined on stage by a dedicated group of peer mentors, children the same age without disabilities who have volunteered to work side by side with them throughout 4 months of rehearsals and through the final performance. Students with physical disabilities use art materials in different ways, such as lying on the floor over a bolster pillow to draw. Students may need help manipulating the materials or physically carrying out their ideas, assuring they control the creative process as much as possible. Adapted activities can include pre-cut pictures or clip art used by a student to incorporate into artwork. Allowing independence and a feeling of personal accomplishment is important. Students with visual disabilities learn information when available materials are described, the ways they may be used, and encouraged to manipulate the items. Since art is highly visual, students who are visually impaired experience art through their senses of touch and hearing. This is a great way for students to learn about different materials, and they build a tactile vocabulary. In the absence of one sense, the other senses become stronger as they compensate for and take the place of missing senses. For those who have hearing impairments or are deaf, the visual world takes on even more significance. Students with hearing impairments learn about activities through observation as materials are demonstrated and used. Communicating with children about their art using sign language, lip reading, or any method they understand is important. Art helps students with autism target imagination and abstract thinking, sensory integration and regulation, emotion and self expression, developmental growth, visual spatial skills, and recreation and leisure skills. At age 16, Dane Capo picked up a paintbrush for the first time and created a portrait of artist Henry Matisse. Looking at the finished piece, you would think it was done by someone with extensive training or years of experience. In addition to selling paintings from his gallery and taking requests for original pieces of art, Dane will soon offer appointments for anyone who would like to just sit and watch him paint. His family hopes to start a nonprofit that would give grants to other families with children who have autism. The Oklahoma Arts Council provides the Arts Learning in Communities grant for art opportunities outside of the school day. The grant can help finance art instruction, classes, and workshops for participants of all ages and abilities, including early childhood programs, summer and afternoon programs for children, prevention or intervention programs for youth or adults involving the arts. This presentation provides a variety of resources that will be presented in part 2 as well. Thank you for sharing your talent with this very special student.